Today we're gonna do a review of the Pioneer Duration Pack. And I've been testing this bag for the past week, so I've got a lot to say. In this video, we're gonna talk about the pros and the cons, we're gonna fully pack it out, and you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video. Because if you're not sure if the Duration Pack is for you, I'll make a few alternative suggestions for bags that are kind of similar, but offering some different things that might better suit your needs. So you can just get an idea of what the best bags in the market are, because here at Nomadization, our goal is to help you find the best bag for your needs. Let's talk about the gist of the Pioneer Duration Pack. This is my first Pioneer bag review, and I gotta say, I'm really excited about this brand. They're bringing some really cool things to the table, and like any bag brand, their unique selling points are gonna have their own pros and cons. And Pioneer's angle is they're sort of in between like that premium market and the luxury market. Some of the bag's top features being, it's gorgeous 840D Mandarin nylon, which is custom made. 2 front compartments, clamshell style opening to the main compartment, a separate laptop compartment, and a luggage pass-through holder that allows you to carry the bag vertically on your suitcase. But really, the driving force behind this bag is sort of that aesthetic and just like kind of luxury vibe the bag gives, which I'll talk about in a bit more detail in the next section. The Duration Pack currently comes in one color option. It has 18 liters capacity, which in my opinion is great for everyday carry as long as you don't have too much gear. For dimensions, we have a height of around 17 inches, a width of around 12 inches, and a fully packed out base depth of around 7 inches. On their website, Pioneer claims this bag weighs 2.1 pounds, but I'm getting 2.3 pounds on scale number 1 and 2.4 pounds on scale number 2. This is the Duration Pack when it's empty, and this is the Duration Pack when it's fully packed out and worn on the Nomadization team. For reference, I'm 5'8", and our media manager, Margaret, is 5'2". And we're gonna pack out this bag throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. All Pioneer bags are covered by their 1,000,000-mile guarantee, which protects you from defects in workmanship or materials for the lifetime of the product. And for all that, the Duration Pack runs around $315 US. Now, if at any point in this review you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, that is the premium, borderline luxury, everyday carry bag of my dreams, I'm totally gonna pick one up. Or you wanna find out more information, we highly suggest that you do so using the first link in the description below. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps to support the Nomadization YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Okay, let's talk about the front of the Pioneer Duration Pack. And when it comes to this bag, really, the unique selling point is the aesthetic. And when you look at the front of the bag, like, that's kind of, what we're dealing with. And we got a lot of really interesting things with the aesthetic. I can tell you, it feels very thoughtfully designed and put together. Whether it's the custom Mandarin textile, or these unique and really premium metal zipper pullers, or the old school teethy kind of zipper aesthetic, which you're either gonna love or you're gonna hate. I'm curious what you think though. Like, do you like that Pioneer is leaning into zippers and let's not reverse them. Let's showcase the zipper. Or do you prefer it when the zippers are a bit more subtle? Let me know what you think in regards to like zipper design in the comments below. I'm really curious. But as I get into this pack, it should be noted, like, this is not a super feature heavy bag, and it's not a very like high value bag in that perspective either. And what I mean by that is not that there's not value in this bag. Value just depends on what you want to spend your money on and what you like. But in terms of like features to cost, that ratio is not gonna be the highest. But in terms of like craftsmanship, thoughtful design, and an aesthetic that you can tell Pioneer really believes in, that's what you're getting with not just the Duration Pack, but really any Pioneer products. Now let's talk about this fabric, which is a custom made Mandarin 840D nylon. Now, this is basically like a fancy ballistic nylon. The weave is slightly different, but I will say, like, if you're really into craftsmanship and just like beautiful, unique fabrics, it does have a little bit of a different feel to it than like your standard Cordura 1680D ballistic nylon. And the fact that it's custom made does kind of add to that story of, what Pioneer is bringing to the table. All right, let's talk about these 2 front compartments. Both of these are accessible with Pioneer's custom made zipper pullers. They're metal, which means they feel great, but metal zipper pullers can be a bit on the loud side. But because these are not YKK or even reverse coil, the zipper experience is incredibly smooth and really satisfying in that sense as well. And these are YKK Vislon zippers. They're both number 8s. And I gotta say, me personally, I'm kind of moving away from PU coated zippers because the longevity just isn't there. They have a tendency to peel over time. So the great thing about a bag like this is that it will maintain that value. The zippers aren't gonna peel. It'll look just as good on day 1 as it will day 1000 in regards to the zippers. On the bottom compartment, we got a key leash and a lining pocket right here. And the top pocket has no additional organization. Now, one thing I'm not a huge fan of with this bag is the colored choice of lining. As you can see, it's a bit darker, not pitch black dark, but it doesn't help to create that highlight effect, which I've grown to really appreciate in a lot of bags at this price point. But then again, darker lining does potentially give it a more sophisticated feel, so I do think it's in line with the Pioneer aesthetic. So here I got a bunch of my everyday carry stuff. Let's pack it out. One thing I like about the pockets, and especially the bottom pocket, is that it's got a decent amount of depth and volume to it. So if you have chunkier, beefier bits of gear and tech, like overhead headphones and travel adapters, the pocket, as you can see, has its own volume, so it can expand nicely. Pop my keys on the key leash. This is not the longest key leash, but it's in a semi-accessible location, so when you swing the bag around, you can quickly unlock and lock your door. I'm gonna throw my adapter behind the sleeve, and as you can see, it's quite dark in there, right? So we're not getting that high vis effect that I really have grown to appreciate in bags. You know, we're just gonna keep this for the tech stuff. So I got my headphones in there as well. That's it for pocket number one. Pocket number two, I'm just gonna use this as like a dump pocket, right? We're gonna throw some gum, meds, Zinton, AirPods, pens. You can see, we're not even halfway full, dude. Chapstick, tissues, wallets. I actually quite enjoyed these pockets for their accessibility. It's sort of like what you'll see in like bags where it has like an admin compartment, right? With like two sections inside, but because they're not inside, they're on the outside, they're quite accessible. But if you live in a location where theft is a bit more of a problem, and you might not like how easy to access that stuff is. Not really a deal breaker for me living in Hong Kong, but something to be aware of. And that should be on the front. Let's talk about the middle of the Pioneer Duration Pack. And first thing to know about the middle is the bottom of the middle, and notice how well this bag is self-standing. This is actually one of my favorite parts about my experience with the Duration Pack, because oftentimes with like higher price point, more like sexy luxury type goods, they don't have a flat bottom, because flat bottoms equal boxier silhouette equals not as sexy. But Pioneer said, we're gonna sort of do a middle line between premium, right? Giving you that functionality, but also luxury. It's a high priced, sexified bag. And one of the functional aspects being that it self-stands really, really, really well. It self-stood earlier when the bag was empty. It's self-standing now, even though the front is completely loaded out. So it's definitely a big selling point in the bag for me. But one selling point, or lack of a selling point that might be a deal breaker for some, is notice on the sides, we're lacking any side pockets, quick access, and or water bottle holders. If you hear that, that is the sound of about 60% of the people who are watching this review exiting. Because what I've learned in this community is that water bottle holders are just like very big deal to some of y'all. For me, not a deal breaker at all. Again, I respect Pioneers sticking to their guns. This bag is sexy. Water bottle holders aren't very sexy. And you can see this comes included with the bag. We have a luggage tag, really high quality. Pop your name on there. Let's talk top handle. It's a pretty nice top handle. I like the reinforced stitching. You can see right here, we have this fabric cutout, really nice stitching on it. On either side of the handle, we have these 1-2 loops, which are external lash points, so you can clip things onto the bag if you want to carry them at the top of your bag, which is nice for me. I actually clip my sunglasses onto there. And the handle itself, it's not too big, but there's enough room to grab. But I will say it's not like the beefiest handle. There's not really any padding in there, which I think for an 18-liter bag is totally okay. But if you are looking for like a beefier, mattressy type of top handle, this is not gonna make the cut for you. Now let's get into the main compartment. Like I said, clamshell style opening, and on either side of the zipper axis, we have these pull tabs just to help to give you a little bit of leverage when opening and closing the bag. And now, we're in. This is not the widest clamshell opening. We are putting a little bit of stress on the zippers at the bottom point. On this side, we have a power mesh pocket, and on the other side, we have a sleeve, and 1, 2, 3, 4 lash points. Now, lash points like these are great because you can use them to clip things internally into your bag. Maybe your packing cube has some securing mechanism, or if you just have like the Tom Bin style tech pouches, you can clip it into place. Yeah, let's go ahead and pack it out. Now remember, at 18 liters, we don't have a ton of space that we're dealing with here, but for a light EDC getup like this, we should be good to go. I'm gonna throw a book in the back sleeve right there. In the power mesh zippered pocket right here, I'm gonna throw my Peak Design packable tote, my new favorite packable tote, by the way. It's been great. In the main compartment, we'll go ahead and throw a tech pouch at the bottom. This is the JSD Bombas. I've got the Evergoods Cap 0.5 also at the bottom. Throw my hoodie, hard drive. See if I can put a water bottle in there as well. Like I said, there's no external water bottle holder, so if you are carrying a water bottle, it's going on the inside, and this will close, no problemo. And what I love about the bag is just how well indeed it self-stands now. But keep in mind, to self-stand like a champ, you're gonna need a bulky bottom. And we were at, I think, 9 inches before. And yeah, that's a bulky bottom. It really tapers down too. It goes from 5 inches at the top and almost doubles. Not, we're at 8.5-ish inches, but that gives you the ability to do this, which for me is just so crucial on an everyday carry backpack. And real fast, I gotta tell you, if you're enjoying this review and you think to yourself, damn, this dude's talking about aesthetic and unique selling points and design and functionality. Holy crap, bags are cool. I want more. Well, then I gotta tell you that here at Nomads Nation, we don't just review bags on our YouTube channel, but we also have the Nomads Nation newsletter. In that newsletter, I like to take you into a deep dive into the world of everyday carry and travel gear. So if you want to keep your pulse on what's happening with the newest releases in the world of bags and slings and wallets and packing cubes and everything in between, where I'm like your reporter in the field, letting you know the top deals, the coolest collaborations, and everything in between, then you're gonna want to search for this globe emoji in the description below. There you can sign up to the Nomad Nation newsletter. You should definitely sign up, and I hope to see you in your inbox. Okay, let's talk about the back of the Pioneer Duration Pack. Starting at the top here, one more zipper access, which gets you into the tech compartment. Again, it's dark in there, but you can see we got one sleeve and then the main area. Now, one thing to know about the sleeve is that it doesn't go down to the bottom. It goes down to about here. I got a 13-inch MacBook Pro, and you can see it does fit into the sleeve if you so choose to keep your laptop there, or you can put your laptop in the main area. But here's the deal. I definitely recommend if you have a smaller laptop to keep it in this sleeve, because then you get like a really epic false bottom. It's like up here, like that is the falsiest of false bottoms I ever done experienced in my darn life. Why do I have a Southern accent? Whatever, I'm going with it. But if you have it on the bottom, no, I'm done with the Southern accent. If you have it on the bottom though, or in the other compartment, then we're not getting a false bottom at all. Now let's check our cutout of a 16-inch MacBook Pro. And here's where things get a little interesting as to where you can see 16-inch MacBook Pro is not fitting in this sleeve, but it will fit in here. So you do have the ability to pack a 16-inch MacBook Pro, or potentially larger, but you're not gonna get that false bottom. So if you are putting a larger laptop in this bag, be sure to double wrap in its own laptop sleeve. And a real quick 17-inch check. This is an Asus VivoBook, Margaret, right? VivoBook. You can see, yeah, we're totally fitting. But again, to really get the most laptop protection and take advantage of that false bottom, smaller laptop's the way to go. Now let's talk about comfort and the back panel in general. Because again, what I love about Pioneer is like, yo, dude, we know who we are. We're not like crazy feature heavy back panel brand. We're not gonna give you lash points, sternum straps, hidden zippered wallet pockets. Nope, we're a classy brand, so you're getting a classy back panel, which is nice because it feels and looks amazing. The shoulder straps have a decent amount of padding to them, but in line with that like sexification, they're not the beefiest shoulder straps. Now here's the deal, it's an 18-liter bag, so it doesn't need to be like super chunkalicious shoulder straps. But I did find myself maybe craving slightly more, but I do like the foam they put in here. It's got a decent amount of rebound to it. Back panel also gets the job done. You can see we got 3D mold, a little ventilation coming through the center crack. Now the luggage pass-through holder, I will say, it looks very sleek, but it is a bit tight, but it definitely gets the job done. We got some nice stitching going on both sides, so I don't feel like it's gonna pop out. And I must say, this will definitely make a great travel companion. Pairs with the suitcase very well. Quick access to your stuff, especially for a business trip. I will admit, I am somebody who absolutely loves a sternum strap. Doesn't look cool. It doesn't look sexy, I get that, but I'm getting old. My back hurts sometimes. And sternum straps are great because when you're wearing the bag, helps you reposition the weight, lessen your lower back, and more on your torso, right, upper chest. But I also understand where Pioneer is coming from. They're going for a vibe, and sternum strap does not fit that vibe. Overall, it's comfy. 18 liters, gets the job done. Not the comfiest, not the least comfy. Good rebound, yeah, it's a solid bag in terms of comfort. My last point of criticism though is that I would have wished that there was a little dangle stoppage happening here. Because here at Nomad Nation, we've been protesting dangle since 2019. And on a $315 US pack, this is unacceptable for these to be waving around. That's why all these little guys are doing the good work. Hashtag stop the dangle. Thank you for your service, gentlemen. Okay, let's wrap this up by talking about the overall pros and the cons of the Pioneer Duration Pack. Pro number one, gorgeous aesthetic. Pro number two, self-stands impressively well. And pro number three, for a smaller bag, it's got a lot of laptop versatility. But on the flip side, let's talk about the cons. Con number one is there might not be enough features on this bag for some of y'all out there. Con number two is I know that the lack of external water bottle holders might be a deal breaker. And con number three, just the biggest thing about this bag is, overall, while I think it has a lot of value, it doesn't provide the greatest value to features ratio of any bag that I've ever reviewed. But if you're still watching this, there's a good chance they might be thinking to yourself, Aaron, I don't care about value to features. I care about value, and I value the out of this bag, which I get, it's gorgeous. And I really enjoyed wearing it. And if you want to test it out yourself and you're gonna make a purchase, just a reminder that we do ask that you do so using the first link in the description below. That'll be where you get the best price. And if we have any discount codes, that's what they'll be. But if you're also not quite sold, let me tell you about some of the alternative options that are on the market that are similar, but bring just a little bit different of things to the table. Alternative recommendation number one is gonna be the modern Dayfarer Backpack V2. Great option for you if you're looking for a sleek city/business backpack, but you kind of want a couple more features, a couple hidden pockets, magnetic closure, and what's great is the modern Dayfarer 2 also comes at a significantly cheaper price point. And alternative recommendation number 2 is gonna be the Aer City Pack Pro 2. Great pick for you if you're looking for that urban city bag, but you want something with a bit more construction to it. Aer City Pack Pro 2 is gonna have a lot better comfort, a bit more organization, and it comes in at a larger size in case the 18 liters of packing space was not enough for your needs. I love all 3 bags, Pioneer, Modern Dayfarer, Aer. You can't go wrong with any of the 3, but to find out which one's best for you, be sure to watch these videos right here. If you got any questions about any bags, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron. This is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.